Hey guys, it's Destiny Lashae. To my subscribers, thank you guys so much for coming back, and to the newbies, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you do not miss any of my videos. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the best beauty products that I found in Sephora in 2018. So the first product that I fell in love with this year is the Laura Mercier Foundation Primer in Radiance Bronze. This primer retails for $38 at Sephora, and this primer is just so pretty. I have it on underneath my makeup today. If you love that dewy, bronzy glow to your face like I have right now going on my face, this primer is the primer for you, and it comes in a huge tube. So the next product from Sephora that I've been loving, and I believe I discovered it this year, is the Cover FX Blurring Primer. The Cover FX Blurring Primer retails for $38 at Sephora. This primer is really good for texture. It's really good for people who want to smooth out their skin. It's good for people that just want to blur any pores that you have, like in the center of your face. This primer is like a go-to. I have about 2 or 3 backups because it's that good, and it helps your makeup last all day long, and it just fills in those pores, any lines or wrinkles, any like texture you got going on. It'll just kind of smooth that out. This is really, really good, and this I feel like will always be a holy grail of mine. So yeah, this one is definitely worth the money as well. So the next product I want to talk about that I've been loving from Sephora is the Clinique Moisture Jelly Moisturizer. So a full-size bottle of this retails for $28. I have been loving this as a moisturizer. If you have normal to oily skin, this moisturizer will be great for you. I love a moisturizer that is clear because I don't know, I just feel better about the ingredients, but I love the way it moisturizes my skin. It doesn't make me get oily in the summertime. I just love the way it makes my skin look, and I honestly feel like this contributed to helping my acne calm down a lot. I don't know what it is. It's a moisturizer, but it's just so light. It moisturizes just enough but not a lot to make you oily. It's just really good. If you haven't found a moisturizer that you're in love with, I would definitely suggest the jelly moisturizer, especially if you have normal to oily skin. Alright, so now we're gonna move on to foundation. I have been loving this year the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I am in the color Chai, and this foundation, I have it on right now. It looks so much like skin. It's so pretty. It's seriously undetectable like it says on the bottle. The color match for me is like perfect. I don't think I've ever found a foundation that matched me as well as this foundation does, and I just love the way it wears. I'm a person that loves a foundation that looks like skin, that matches me fairly well. This is the best foundation that has ever matched me ever, and a foundation that is not cakey. It doesn't feel thick or heavy on my skin, and I feel like I found like my perfect foundation in this bad boy because it's just so good, and I've just been loving it, like loving it. If you do have oily skin, if you do want to try this out, I would suggest using powder under your makeup first before using this, because this does have more like a skin-like more dewy finish. It's not super dewy, but it's dewy enough to where you would get oily throughout the day. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to my favorite concealer from Sephora from 2018. This was really hard for me to pick because I'm in love with so many concealers from Sephora from this past year, but I've narrowed it down to one, and I feel like Too Faced in 2018 killed the game when it came down to complexion products. So I chose the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This concealer is a lot more full coverage than the foundation that they have. This came out first, and this came out after this one. This concealer is so full coverage, it's insane. If you like the Tarte Shape Tape, you will love this concealer. I feel like you would like it more because it's not as drying under the eye, and the applicator is so fat, it just makes it so easy to apply under the eye in like one swipe. You can also kind of correct any blemishes with this concealer. It's that full coverage, and it just looks so nice on the skin. It's just a really, really nice full coverage concealer that I feel like anyone could use. Another thing that I love about this concealer is that it comes in a huge bottle. This is the foundation, right? And then this is the concealer. Look how big this concealer is. Typical concealers look like this, like they're tiny. This retails for $29 at Sephora, which isn't bad. I know my NARS concealer costs around the same price, and you don't get as much product as you do in this one. So now we're gonna move on to bronzer. This was hard again for me because I do have another bronzer that I love from Sephora that I always pick up, but I was just trying to think back into 2018 and just kind of thinking about what bronzer I just loved the most, and I felt like I couldn't go without using. I've been using the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer in the color Mahogany. This retails for $28 at Sephora. This bronzer is so pretty and buttery. I feel like that's why I chose this one over the other one I had in mind, and it applies to the skin so smoothly and it just looks so flawless and undetectable. I don't know, I just love that it has a mirror and it's just so compact. It's really cute, like the packaging. So yeah, I've really been enjoying this bronzer, and I feel like as a brown skin woman, it's really hard to find a nice bronzer that goes well with my skin or even shows up on my skin. So this one definitely is a hit for me. If you are on the deeper spectrum, I don't think you would be able to use this at all because it's a little too light. If I was probably 2 shades darker, this wouldn't show up on my skin tone. So I feel like Anastasia should come out with more shades because the formula is A1. They just need some deeper shades. So now we're gonna move on to like contouring. This was really hard for me too because I've been loving a lot of contouring sticks, but I had to narrow it down to one. If I had to choose one contour stick to live with for the rest of my life, it would be the Fenty Espresso Contour Match Stick. This one stick retails for $25. This I feel like looks so good on my skin. It's not too dark to where it looks muddy. It's not super hard to blend out, and it's not super creamy to where it goes all over my face. So this retails for $25, and I feel like it's worth it because the product lasts a long time. I've had this ever since Fenty was launched, and I have a ton more product. This looks like a little bit of product, but for me this lasts a really long time. So next up, we're gonna talk about setting powder. And this again was hard for me because I've tried so many setting powders in 2018. It was really hard for me to choose, but when I thought about it, it was a no-brainer. Hands down, the best setting powder that I've used this year was the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder in the shade medium deep. This product retails for $38. It comes in a translucent / white powder, which I do use as well underneath my eyes, and it comes in the medium deep shade. When they came out with this, I was looking at it like I was giving it the side eye because I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna look good. But guys, if you like the regular translucent powder and you are on the deeper spectrum, even deeper than me, you would be able to bake your face with this powder. If you're my complexion or a little bit lighter, you're able to use this powder to set your entire face, or you can use it to clean up your contour like I do. I feel like this completely changed my makeup game, and it just helps so much with mattifying the face, and it also just helps to chisel my cheeks so nicely. The formula of this powder I feel like is like no other setting powder that I've ever tried, and trust me, I've tried a lot of setting powders. I just keep coming back to this one. It looks so creamy on the skin. Once you blend it away, like if you bake with it and then blend it away, it looks so flawless. I get too excited about makeup. So now we're gonna move on to eyeshadow. In 2018, there were so many eyeshadow palettes that came out from so many different brands that it was really hard for me to choose. So I picked 5. The reason why I picked all 5 of these is because they're by the same brand and I feel like they all go together. I loved a ton of eyeshadow palettes from Sephora in 2018, but if I had to pick one line of eyeshadow palettes that I loved, it would have to be the Huda Beauty Obsession palettes. These palettes are so pretty, they're so beautiful, and I feel like they are so travel friendly. So these retail for $27 at Sephora. They are so pigmented, easily blendable, and you can create a full makeup look from each palette. Another reason why I love these palettes is because I feel like almost everyone has a favorite color, especially a favorite color that they love to use on their eyes. Some people like purple, some people like blue, some people like red. Like, these eyeshadow palettes were a hit in my eyes because They're so tiny. The eyeshadows pack a punch. They're easily blendable. They have shimmery shades as well as matte shades in the palettes, and you can create a full makeup look from one little tiny palette. I feel like overall Huda Beauty won in the eyeshadow category for 2018. She absolutely killed it, even with her other palettes that I have. But if I had to choose any palettes or like a collection of palettes, it would be these right here. 2018 overall in makeup, there was like so much makeup that came out. It was overwhelming, but if I had to choose one glow product that I'm just in love with, that I feel like I just could not go without, it would have to be the Cover FX enhancer drops, as well as the Cover FX glitter drop. But the Cover FX enhancer drops are the most intense liquid highlighter that I've ever used in my life. I love using this underneath my makeup as a liquid, like wet looking highlight on my face. I love using this, mixing it into my foundation. It just gives your foundation a really nice dewy glow. I really like these because they're really versatile. The enhancer drops retail for $42. That's a lot of money, but okay. I've had this one, as you can tell, it's really beat up. I've had this one all year and I haven't even put a dent in it. On the outside I did, of course, but inside I have like a ton of product left, so I feel like it's definitely worth the money. If a product lasts you over a year, I think the shelf life is shorter than a year, but we're not even gonna talk about that. I feel like it's worth at least $40. But just the way this highlighter looks, just try it out in the store. You don't even have to take my word for it. Put this on your hand in Sephora and then talk to me. So now we're gonna move on to lips. This category wasn't hard for me at all. I knew what brand it was gonna be already, like right off the bat. Fenty Beauty. Fenty Beauty killed it when it came down to lip products for me. I'm wearing the Fenty Beauty Uncensored lipstick right now. This was the first liquid lipstick they came out with, and I bought it right away and I'm in love with it. The Lip Stunner lip paints retail for $24. And then I turn around and purchase the Fenty Beauty Glow Gloss Bomb. Hands down the best gloss I've ever put on my lips. And the Gloss Bomb retails for $18. This has a perfect amount of pigment to kind of get rid of any darkness that I have on my lips. It has the right amount of tackiness. It's the perfect amount of shimmer. It has a perfect amount of shine. Like this gloss, I have like 5 backups of this, okay? Like I cannot be without this because it's that good. So the last product that I feel like I couldn't have gone through 2018 without is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So the Better Than Sex mascara costs $12 for a mini size and $24 for a full size. This mascara I feel like will always hold a special place in my heart because it's so good. I'm the type of person that wears lashes all the time, but when it comes down to my bottom lashes, I need a mascara that will easily set my bottom lashes off, okay? Like, off. This mascara is the only mascara that does not run on my bottom lash line. This mascara is the only one that makes my lashes on the bottom of my lash line look so good, so full, so long. And I love the packaging. The packaging is super heavy. It makes me feel like I'm getting more for my money because of the packaging. I don't know if that makes sense, but if you've ever felt this, like if you go to Sephora, put this in your hand. It's so heavy. It feels like a weight, but I love it. It makes it feel really expensive and like bougie. So I really love this. I have like 10 of these as backups because I can't be without it. So if you're interested in any of these products, make sure you get samples from Sephora before you buy the products, especially if you don't want to waste your money, especially if you hate returning products and all that stuff. Get a sample from Sephora first. Any liquid or product that can be put into a container, you can get a sample from Sephora. So get your samples, girl. I think you can get up to 3 at Sephora at a time. So yeah, test out some of these products, see if you like them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me just talking about Sephora products that I loved in 2018. Make sure you leave me a comment down below and let me know what your favorite product was from this year, makeup or skincare. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you come with us into this beautiful year of 2019, and I will see you in the next video.